Hey there YouTube, Cruising the Land here, and in this video I've got United Nations, guess which one's United Nations, and Otis, my 80 series. Now in this video, focusing on the awning. So awnings to me is a definitely cool piece of equipment that when you're out in the high desert in the hot sun, high noon, you can put out your awning and cool down and be protected and stop and have a drink, barbecue, chill out with friends and family when you're off trail. So this is the Ostrich Wing. It is the original, the very first 270 awning on the market back in 2008, and there's been many people copying it, but no one has perfected it like the original Ostrich Wing, and you will see why. On this truck, I had a Tuli awning. I took it off. It's just, a standard square awning that comes out. Couldn't stand it. In that, I'm going to share a video with you because I took it off. But before I did so, I have a video showing deployment, like opening it up and then putting it away. And it's just a pain in the butt. It's like a wrist exercise because you got to roll up. It's like a big blind. Can't stand it. Whereas these are open and deployed instantly. This is larger, so you can see it sticks past, the windshield here. But in the car, you don't even see this. You don't see it. You don't even hear it, maybe because I already have a roof rack on there. But I love these. These are the game changers. So let me set up my camera and let me show you how fast it is to deploy this awning. So literally this took me 25 seconds to deploy it, taking my time. It is basically get to camp or get to your resting spot and jump out, and you'll have this deployed before the other parties in your caravan make it up to join you. And look how huge this is. This is the Ostrich Wing. So it's 106 inches, which is the length when it's on your roof rack. 106 inches, but this thing is massive and it's deployed. And of course with a Land Cruiser, depending what vehicle you have, these Ostrich Wings can go on any vehicle, but when you got the tailgate, you got the cool gear, same company makes this. It's Big Country. They make this and, roof racks and the awning. So I haven't done this truck yet. I'm going to actually show you what I had on this truck before and show you how long it takes to ultimately open it and to close it. And if anybody's interested, I have a Tuli available for sale. It's the one that I took off this truck. So let me share that video with you, and then we'll show the Junior. So it's the smaller awning, and you'll be able to really see the size of the awnings side by side. So let's share that video. All right, here's United Nations, my 200 series, and the Tuli awning. I've used this once just because it's a pain in the butt. So I'm going to open it, show you how long that takes. I'll like speed forward the film because, it's going to take time, and then I'm going to roll it back up and put it away. So let's see how long it takes, and you'll see why. Hopefully I save you from having to buy one of these. Does it look cool? Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty cool. But you know what? Function to me outweighs the cool look. I want it to be functional. Why are you putting an awning to begin with? So let's set up the camera and let's see how long this takes. All right, so that's set up on my curb. But you know, first thing I notice, any strong wind, like 5-10 miles an hour, this thing's going down. So it's taut. That's why you can see I was like clipping this thing, but that took time. And this was the easy part, was getting it set up. I just feel the legs that hold it are flimsy. Even though the Ostrich Wing is freestanding, it is just way stronger than this. And as far as, you know, this is gonna block the sun, don't get me wrong, but this is just a cheap vinyl, you know, so what are we paying for? Maybe the fancy box it sits in when you're not using it? All right, that was the easy part. And again, well, the way I'm facing the sun, look, there's no sun, there's no shade, it's creating nothing right now. Of course, you're gonna do this when it's noon, you know, and the sun is like, you know, at high noon above your head. All right, let me set up the camera at a different vantage point and let's see how long it takes to put this thing away, because this is what the pain in the butt is. Okay, you can hear I'm out of breath a bit. That is a wrist workout. Like your forearms, trust me, that's a workout. I remember doing that for hockey, trying to strengthen the wrist shot. You put a weight on a hockey stick and you roll up a like a shoelace tied to like a 5-pound weight. Oh yeah, you'll get a great wrist shot. So I guess I'm gonna have a good wrist shot if I keep this awning. So let me catch my breath, but it took probably what, about 3 minutes to deploy and about 3 minutes to put back away. Yeah, and for maybe some people might take longer, but compare that to what, the 20 seconds to deploy the 270 and the to put away a 270, maybe a minute. So, and the fact that it just covers way more square footage, it's just way more fun. It's just, I don't know, the 270 to me is the game changer. But that's why I am selling that awning. If you're interested, I'll have this for a great price and you can deal with it. All right, let's get back to the Ostrich Wings. All right. So out with the old awning, in with the new. So that's what it looks like when this is opened up. And remember, this is the Junior Ostrich Wing. Let's do a little walk around and then we'll go look at the larger one. But check that out. So great coverage here. You know, obviously I can close this all up and then, you know, be sitting in this area. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, there are zippers up here, so you can get the side curtains if you want to make this an enclosed space, which is pretty cool because you can be camping out the back here and have this fully enclosed. So there's the size difference. Just looking at the back alone, you know, here I am at the edge, and a ton of space between me and the vehicle, tons. And this still cuts over the tire to the edge. Whereas this one, because you're losing ultimately 20 inches, here I am at the edge. And I still have some space here, but you know, that 20 inches, it's like having an extra large pizza versus a large pizza. So on that note, just to share with you, most awnings, because of shipping purposes in the US, this is what's considered a large. But for the Ostrich Wing, this is a junior, okay? So their junior is basically everybody else's like largest one. Reason being, shipping something this size is cheaper. Once you get over 86 inches, price goes up for shipping. So that's the junior. And one thing I want to also point out on, I can show you on the bag. So the whole canvas top is top quality. I don't know if you can see that. See those little squares in the pattern? So that's like a rip stop, meaning if a branch pokes through here, it's not going to continue and rip along. It stops at each one of those little squares, which is like 2 centimeters or something, or 1/4 inch or even smaller. So both of them have that. Now, anybody who's been out in an awning, you know, when it's raining, water can accumulate. So this is why you have this piece, which I didn't put fully up, but that helps cascade the water off of the awning. So this one is just massive. I did the Junior on this vehicle because I didn't want the awning to be protruding out past the rooftop tent. Okay, so next thing to share with you. These are what is called a freestanding awning. So freestanding meaning, see, there's no pull, there's nothing to brace it. But if you want to, there is one right here. So it's Velcroed. I can pull this down and put it down here. Why would I want to? Freestanding is so cool. Well, if it's 30-mile-an-hour winds, that's when you'd want to start thinking about putting that down. But winds, you know, if winds get way too high, you're obviously no longer going to be outside. But this can handle 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds. This is just so secure. It won't rip off your car. If winds got up to 80, I fear more that your whole vehicle will go airborne and take off. So that's how strong it is. This is the trestle. This is one of the reasons why it's just so strong. So look at the fabrication of this. Whoop. And I remember at a show, I went with Big Country 4x4 with Theo. We were doing pull-ups on this. And maybe I'll show you that here in a second. So this is mounted to a, you can see how that mount goes. This is mounted to a Prinsu. There's mounts for Front Runner, Rhino, the Big Country 4x4, the makers of this, to their rack. So you can mount it to any roof rack out there. They have many options for mounting. That's all aluminum on the inside. Also comes with a little light kit, so you can put a, you know, nice little LED light kit that will go through this channel. So you put it in here and you can just choose whichever you want to create some lighting. So the Junior just needs the 2. So if you notice, it's 2, but that extra 20 inches adds so much more weight. So that's why there's 3 in the trestle for the Ostrich Wing 270. Again, it's an extra padding here where this will stick up, but the materials are top notch. The engineering is brilliant. Again, they did it right out of the gate. Did they have to do improvements to it? No, their original one was the best. So look at that. So honestly, if you never knew about the large one, this one's plenty great. And you know, there's a difference in price, of course, but I just love this huge one. All right, so you talked me into it. I'm gonna do a pull-up. Let me get my camera set up and I'll show you just how strong this is, which, by the way, do not attempt this at home unless you have one of these awnings, but don't do it on any other of those Chinese built awnings. All right, let's do it. So pretty darn impressive, isn't it? So like I said, don't do that with any other awning. But again, looking back at this trestle, just the way, because this is where all the weight is. The weight is not there, that's just to hold it. So it is mounted there, but this is the brunt of all the weight on the freestanding. So you can just see how heavy duty, all aluminum, 1, 2, 3. And then that top piece that goes across the back. Just the design is brilliant. The awning is incredible. Let me see if I can get a little upper view here of both of them. All right, there's our upper view. This would be a perfect time to have a drone just to show the, you know, the diameter, circumference that it covers. And perfect timing, the sun is coming out. All right, so perhaps I share one video of how this is put away. So let me set up my camera for that. Excuse the sun. Look at the shadow that's casting. Obviously the sun is low. All right, so we're gonna put this one away and let me share that video with you. But there you have it. What else can I say? I mean, these are phenomenal. I love them. And buy once, cry once. Many customers have had the cheap Chinese built, because let me tell you, there's, I think, one company that makes an awning in the US, and it's like in the almost $3,000, and it's just like that Tuli that I showed you. Just not worth it. But for 270s, no one makes it in the US, and all of them are made in China. So you know what that means. The quality is going to be poor, and I don't know at the time of you watching this video, tariffs or not, who knows? Who knows? But just on the quality alone, I would just stay away from them. I've had people that had cheap ones, couldn't stand them. As soon as they got their ostrich wing, they said this is the bee's knees of awnings. All right, let me set up the camera and we'll see how quick it is to put this one away. And there it is, all packed up. Yeah, I took a little longer than I usually do. Maybe it was the pressure of being on camera, but usually that's 45 seconds. I think I took a minute. Spent about 15 extra seconds right there. But anyhow, there it is, packed away, looking great. I'm gonna take this one down. Same thing, takes about the same amount of time. And what could I say? They are awesome. So if you're interested, I do rep them, give me a call. I'll put my phone number and I'll put my Gmail so you can reach out and get yourself the game changer of all awnings and enjoy the outdoors. Subscribe to the channel if you like Land Cruisers or just cool gear. And yes, I do rep the drawers as well. So if you're interested in the drawers, they make great tilting sliders and the best roof racks. Solidly welded, not these pieced together like most of the ones we get here in the US. All right, thanks for watching. Happy trails, and we'll catch you on the next one.